The collaboration conversation is brought to you by Project Brickworks, the new arts ministry dedicated to equipping Christians to use their talents and gifts to bring others into a relationship with King Jesus. We created the collaboration conversation as a way for Christians to share about their upcoming projects and how they are using their gifts and talents that God has given them. Today we are the most excited, the most thrilled, if you will, to have Miss Olivia Liang with us. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
Don't be
I'm
nervous.
good. I'm so happy to see you guys.
It is so lovely
And
to see
technology is
you.
amazing. I'm all
As
the way here in the Canada, and you're all the way out there,
in the
and we're able
Tennessee.
to see each other.
Well, we are very excited to have you as a guest today. And I know you and Sarah have been friends for like 5 years. And I would love if you guys would kind of, if you would start with, just tell us how you met.
So Sarah and I did an acting program at UCLA for 1 year together, from 2016 to 2017. And we were placed serendipitously, some would say God ordainedly,
I
in
would
the
say God
same
ordainedly.
group
Yes.
for the first quarter that we were in that program. And I remember we both like getting places early. So we were the only ones in the classroom, like
Day one.
at least a half hour
Yeah.
before everyone else got
We
there.
also were driving the farthest.
We also were driving both from an hour away.
At least. Yeah.
It was horrible, the commute. But then we started carpooling. Anyways, I digress. I was eating some Ritz crackers, and it was just me and Sarah, and I was like, I'm gonna offer this girl some Ritz crackers right now. And then I said, would you like a Ritz cracker? And then you said, yes, I love Ritz crackers. I used to serve these to the kids at the preschool where I worked.
Forgot about that.
And then the rest is history.
And it was love at first sight. And I wanted so badly. I looked in my pantry. I was like, I need to have Ritz crackers today on this table ready to go in case we tell that story. But yes, it was, and I mean, it was instant. And then after that, then we connected on our faith. And I was like, oh, okay, we're soulmates.
We're soulmates.
Got it. Okay. Just was making sure. And so, yeah, that you told that story beautifully. And so we met at UCLA, as you said, and I would definitely call it easily one of the most God-ordained moments of my life. Over the past 5 years, you have been such an important part of my life, from like in all ways, professionally, but mostly personally, and highs, lows. You're the first one I call, when we get auditions. Hey, can you run this with me? Or, whatever it is. I mean, we did that for years before, you booked this show that we will talk about very soon. But you know what I mean? As our beautiful picture says, we are better together. And I really, truly believe that. And I believe that God put you in my life at that particular moment for the rest of my life. And so thank you for being my friend.
I echo all of those sentiments.
She said ditto.
Ditto, because not only do we connect on our faith level, but also our interests in terms of what we are creatively inspired by.
Yes.
We have the same sense of humor. We have the same goals. Like we're just so synchronized.
Yes.
And it just,
I can't echo that.
it's for a lifetime.
It's for a lifetime. And I can't echo that enough. And so I'm just really grateful for you. So you were just talking about how we have similar senses of humor, which is the basis, one of the strongest foundations of our friendship. And
Yes.
one of my favorite things, and I just watched this last night when we were going over this, is the sessions that we wrote. We're hilarious.
We're really
funny. I haven't watched that in a long time.
I haven't watched that since
we
released them.
Yeah, same. And I watched your episode last night and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, not only are you hilarious, because I knew that, but like as an actor, but our writing was funny. And I'm just really proud of that work. I just remember us writing that like on the floor at maybe your mom's house or where I was living. And
I think it was my mom.
I think it was your mom's house.
Yeah.
And we just were dying laughing just from you and I just laughed throughout the whole writing process. And I guess maybe that's what makes it work?
It's so fun to write with you because we just start being each character in the scene. And so we're just going back and forth. And then it's like, oh, you said something funny. Let's write that down.
Yep.
Back and forth.
Magic.
Until we have a scene or magic. Exactly.
Magic. And that clip was, I mean, we
I
made that.
especially liked
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I loved yours when you were Belle.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't watch that.
I mean, you didn't watch that one?
Not last night.
I'll watch it for you.
Perfect. That's what makes us such a great team. Is I'm gonna watch all your stuff and never my stuff, and vice versa. Okay, so for those of you watching who have been living under a rock and don't know who Olivia is, she was recently cast as the lead in the upcoming CW show Kung Fu, which is a reboot of the hit 70s show of the same name. Olivia, as all actors can attest to, it is not every day that you book the lead, the number one, on a show, on a network show. So first of all, you already know how incredibly proud I am, and
me too.
I will. Yeah, we are both super proud of you. We sing your praises all the time. You're my first name drop now, and so I just wanted to first of all just ask you, what's it been like lately? You guys started filming recently. You're in the midst of season 1. I just kind of want to let you have the floor and talk us through the whole process. Whatever you want to share, audition. One of my favorite things, by the way, if you want to touch on it, is how you and all of the test participants went out to eat right after the test as just like this really camaraderie thing. So if you want to touch on that, that's a great story. So yeah, I just want to give you the floor. Tell us about Kung Fu.
This is a good dry test run of when I have to start talking about it.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
I'm bad at this, as you guys can see.
No, not even. Not even.
So like you said, it's total chance, luck, God thing if you are able to be so lucky as to book a pilot at all.
Yeah.
Period. Just because that chance is so slim. To look at me,
She said,
I'm
my
stuttering.
words.
I've developed a stutter. Help me. Yeah, it's as you said, it is very hard to, at the very least, book a pilot. There are a lot of very, very, very talented people who it's not just people who are in LA who get to audition for pilots. It's all over the world, all over the country. I mean, Sarah, you tested for a pilot that you
from
did
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
From Chattanooga.
Yeah,
you're
right.
You got flown out. So I'm not just competing.
Sure.
I put in quotation marks with people in LA who have access to go to those audition rooms, but it's just everyone. And I know for Kung Fu in particular, they searched far and wide for the right Chinese girl to do this. The girls who I ended up testing against for this role were both from Australia and New Zealand. So they searched all over the world. So I do feel very, 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 very times a million blessed to book something that really feels like once in a lifetime and one in a million. And to have it get picked up is also another whoa.
Yes, congratulations.
Yes.
So exciting.
Thank you.
I mean, booking the pilot, I remember when you booked it, I was like, holy cow, this is huge. Yeah. I didn't think, you just don't think it could get any better. And then you get picked up and we're like, oh, okay, we're doing it. Anyway, I was so excited for you too.
Yeah. But the whole process was pretty intense. I was in Atlanta shooting a different show, and I got a self-tape request for Kung Fu. And it was one of those things, it was very, I read the scenes, I read the script, and it just clicked. I just got the girl immediately. And that's a testament to our writer, showrunner, Christina Kim. She nailed it. It's just such a relatable, recognizable story, not just for Asian Americans, but for anyone. The story is about a girl who is struggling with this perfect image that she's trying to keep up for her family and for the people around her, and really trying to forge her own path and figure out what it is that she wants to do, that she's meant to do. And I think that everyone can relate to that feeling. But yeah, there's just an Asian American twist on it. And so I really got this girl.
Well, and knowing who you are as a person, as you're describing Nikki, I'm like, Nikki. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Olivia.
There wasn't a lot of acting.
I know there's a ton of acting.
Yeah.
But just as you were talking about that, I just know you probably can really resonate with that.
Yeah, totally. And so I did the self-tape from Atlanta. I truly did one take per scene. We had 3 scenes because I was at a point in my career and in my process where I wasn't stressed anymore about getting it perfectly. I kind of got to a place where it was like, if it's meant to be for me, then it will be.
If it's your part, it's your part.
Exactly. And so I did 1 take per scene. I sent it in and I truly forgot about it. And then 2 weeks later, I get a call from my agent saying that they want to test me for the part.
Off of a tape. Amazing.
Excuse me?
Come again? One more time? One more time.
Sorry, what? Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the test because I was in Atlanta, and that show, I was working the next day. They just didn't want to risk me not being back in time for work.
Right.
So I had to just, I got on the phone with a couple producers and the showrunner, and they kind of talked me through what they were looking for, but they didn't actually give me any notes on Nikki. So I was just like, okay, I guess whatever I'm doing is working. So we retaped it, sent it in, and I guess that day of the test, the studio test, they played my audition tape. They had a couple other Nickies in there. And then that night I get a call from my agent. They scrapped everyone except for you.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know what that means, but they might keep looking. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means either. And so that I was really bummed that I couldn't make it to the test, because you know, Sarah, that
it's all about
nice
being in the room.
In the room.
Yeah.
And feel the energy and all of that. But I was, again, just let go. If it's supposed to be mine, then it's mine. And then a few days later, I get word that I'm able to take a few days off from the other show in Atlanta, and I get to go home for 4 days. And in that 4 days, it just so happened that they were redoing their studio test for Kung Fu and then going on to a network test. So I went in for a work session where I just did each scene once more and didn't really get any notes again. And I was just like, okay, bye guys. And then they did the studio test. I wasn't part of that. We went back the next day for the network test. And that was a Thursday. And the network test is where it's the final round.
Yep.
You're chilling in a room with all of your competition. You're looking around. It's like, it's either going to be you or me, or maybe none of us. And I've listened to a lot of podcasts about the industry, and when people describe this stage of the process, they're always describing a sense of like fear and competition and kind of needing to protect themselves from these other actors. But that wasn't there for this test. It was a room full of Asian Americans or Asians. And we're all looking at each other. And instead of feeling like, oh, I gotta take that girl down, because if it's her, then I'm not gonna get it. It was more a sense of, oh my gosh, this pilot is getting made. And this is a huge step for representation for Asians in this industry.
Absolutely.
And so we were just happy that this was happening. And we looked at each other every time one of us went into the room. We came out, we got into like a big group hug back when you could still do group hugs. And
no social
we were like,
distancing required.
You did it. We're like, you did it. Like, it's over. You can breathe. Like, relax. And we were just so happy that if it's not you, if it's not me, thank God it's going to be you.
Yeah.
Because that means it's getting made. And that means that we're going to be able to see stories coming from people who look like us on TV. So, that's kind of the thing that you were talking about. And then we all went and got lunch together afterwards, and we were sharing our stories. And it was just so lovely to be surrounded by people who are all passionate about the same thing and who aren't looking at you with a chip on their shoulder, and who all also have very similar experiences to you in this very difficult industry. But yeah, the next day, that day, everyone else except for Nikki, the character of Nikki, found out that they were cast. And so I was like, okay, I guess it's a really big decision. And then I get a call from my agent saying, please don't kill me. They need to see you again tomorrow.
As if your agent has anything to do with that.
And I was like, okay. I went to Warner Brothers. I met with 2 producers, a casting director, and the casting assistant. And they said to me, Olivia, you are everyone's choice, but we haven't been able to see all of the colors that we need to see from a lead, from hopefully what we get if we get like season 6.
You gotta show all of the emotions, the sad, the happy,
all of the things that they need.
Yeah, that they could possibly need in a season arc. You have to show them in one half-hour setting. So
exactly. And you just weren't able to get that from the sites that were provided because, it was a lot of establishment, it was a pilot, all of that. And so I was like, okay. And so this was the first time I was actually getting notes on this character, like for real notes. And I was at Warner Brothers for 2 hours. I'm just drilling these 3 scenes over and over and over. Like, why don't you try this? Give us this. Some of these things won't be on the page, but just humor us. And I was like, okay, I'm game. And I was truly praying. I was like, Jesus, I don't know what they're looking for. I feel it's me. I feel this character in me. I know maybe I don't have the most experience, but I just need your help.
Right? That's all we can do. Just
Amen.
Please help.
Whatever they throw at me can help my mind be moldable, help me digest it quickly and be able to get it out there quickly, so that I can show them that I'm capable. And so, I was there for 2 hours, maybe more. I went home and I took a big old nap.
Yeah, you did.
Then I got a call from my agent. I was like, hello. She was like, we don't know anything yet. I was like, why are you calling me?
Stop calling me. Don't call me until.
Yes. And then an hour later, she called again and she was like, it's you.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
And then I cried. And then I called you.
Yes, you did. I was in a Mexican restaurant. I had to actually leave the vicinity, like leave the building because I had to freak out. I can't freak out. Anyway, it was wonderful. And it was the best day ever. Yes.
But I forgot to mention in that process was also the signing portion, which I did with you.
Yes. It was I feel very honored to have been it's the computer that we're looking at your face on right now. He's just signed your contract and it was awesome. Anyway, I'm very honored that you let me be a part of this very huge opportunity. I mean, I know it's all about the people you surround yourself with. I mean, the support system, you know what I mean? So like this year you've got I just know I've seen it on your Instagram, on, just from word of mouth from us talking, you have such a great support system around you who love you and want you to succeed. And I'm hoping that is giving you the energy and, not the drive, because you already have the drive, but just that little oomph to know that you can, and the confidence to know that you can do this. And of course, Jesus is helping as well, always.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you this question. I love this story, so you have to share it. I'm sorry. But there was a time in your career where your agent that you are not currently with, or your representation that you're not currently with, was urging you to get in some kind of martial arts training. And
Yes.
why?
Why indeed? Is it something about me that says that I should know martial arts?
What?
Yeah, it was. So I started really going for acting when we went to UCLA together. So in
Yes.
2016, that's when I felt like I was really starting to do that actor life and really go for it.
Sure.
And then by 2018 is when I felt like, okay, I'm really in the game. But in between that was a lot of, those growing pains and finding managers and agents and not necessarily vibing with them. But the one thing that was always suggested to me was that I have some sort of martial arts on my resume. And that really irked me because I was like, why should I know martial arts to have this career? You don't see them telling a redhead to hopefully learn how to play the bagpipes. Like, what a stereotype,
Right. Totally.
And so I made a mental promise to myself. I was like, I am not ever going to learn martial arts because I don't need that in order to have a successful career as an actor. Fast forward to now, I'm on a show
called Kung Fu.
I mean, so to be clear, like, I have nothing against martial arts.
Right.
Now that I have learned it, not that I've learned all of it, but now that I am learning it, I have so much respect for these athletes / artists who are doing this, because it is the hardest thing I've ever put my body through. Wow.
I believe it.
It is a dance. It is a sport. It is so much strength, but also so much like grace in one thing. It's insane. Our choreographer / stunt coordinator, Brett Cham, insane stunt guy. Also the sweetest. Stunt people, I'm going to bounce around. Let me put a pin in that. Stunt people are the kindest and most humble and most generous people on the planet, because they have to be, because their lives are in each other's hands.
Yeah.
They have to trust each other so much. They have to take care of each other. And so our stunt team is I just love them so much. But yes, our choreographer is so intentional about his choreography. He's not just making a fight or choreographing a fight to look good for himself and prove that he can put together a really cool looking fight. He is thinking about you as a character. He's thinking about your training, your character's training. Okay, Nikki trained with the Shaolin monks. She trained in tiger style and crane style. Where can we incorporate that? And when she's fighting people on the streets, in like lay person places, where is she incorporating her training? Where can we also make it a little bit more street style fighting? Why is she grabbing him by his wrist there? Oh, it's to disarm him so that he can't attack her with the knife. It's not just, it looks cool.
Right.
So everything is purposeful. Everything has a reason, and he explains that. He lets you know why you're doing this. And it's just incredible.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I want to ask you real quick about going from, you were talking about the show in Atlanta that you were filming, going from a recurring guest star to the #1 on a call sheet. First of all, it's a huge, huge leap, and it's an incredible leap. You should be very, very proud. But talk to us from being a leader on a set. So you're not only an actor, but being the #1 on the call sheet holds weight. And just for setting the tone. of the workplace and things like that. And coming from, a Christian background, I'm just wondering, how do you hold that weight? Do you have a method that you go into every day where you have to remember, hey, I'm the lead on this show, I'm really setting the tone for the day? You know what I mean? Those are kind of things that people might not know that you have to think about as the lead on a show. So I just wanted to ask you if you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah. On Legacies, I was number 12, and then I jumped 11 numbers, which was crazy. It's very crazy. I'm so grateful to Legacies, because I really learned so much from those actors, of how to be respectful on set, how to conduct myself. They really set a good example for me. And I learned from that. I said, okay, if I ever get to be a higher number on the call sheet, I would want to act like them, because they're so gracious and kind to people, and they're really making me feel welcomed on this set. So yeah, them welcoming me was such a great example for how I wanted to behave on if I ever got my own show. Yeah. Which
you now have
ended up happening. And yeah, it really is. You don't realize how important it is that whoever is higher on the call sheet and is kind of someone that the other actors are looking towards for, am I allowed to ask for this? Am I allowed to behave this way? How should I be on this set? That's not something that they teach you in the acting school.
Correct.
That's something that you just learn on the job.
Yeah.
And yeah, so especially with my long days, and working every day, I found myself, my patience the fuse was very, very short. And I was like, how do I make it not short?
How do I
anymore?
lengthen this fuse?
How do I lengthen this? Because I don't ever want to have a bad attitude on set. And so centering myself every morning is very, very important, with my quiet time, with just every morning being like, okay, I'm really, really tired, but here are the things that I'm grateful for, and the things that I know are gifts from God. Number one being that I get to do this for my job. What?
Yeah.
What?
That's what we've been praying for. It's a huge answered prayer.
Yeah. So I just have to remind myself that this is what I had been praying for.
Yeah.
And they got answered. And so what am I going to do when my prayers are answered? So I just have to center myself, ask for some patience, ask God to give me the strength to have a smile on my face, a good attitude, and to make sure I'm really being a good person around people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all I do. I never want to make people feel less than. I want to make sure everyone feels valued. No one is just a blank on our show. Everyone is important in making this story happen, in getting us on air. So I just want everyone to feel as important as I think they are.
I love that. And I got to tell you, even while we've never worked on a professional set before, I've worked with you as an actor. We've done scenes together, and we would carpool to those scenes. And so I would know how you were feeling before we went in to do a scene or to go into a class. And I wanted to just commend you that, even though I've never seen you on set, and I hope to visit you someday in Canada, but I just can attest to the light that you are when you walk into a room. There's a presence about you, and we know it's the Holy Spirit. There's just a light about you that doesn't really matter what you're feeling. You value those around you. You're respectful when others are performing. You're respectful to your fellow castmates. And so anyway, I just wanted to commend you for that, because I've seen it firsthand. So everything you're saying, I know is true.
Olivia, so
Yes.
let's segue a little bit. As you know,
Yeah.
from the conversations you and Sarah have had, we're starting this new ministry called Project Brickworks, and it's all about helping people figure out what their God-given talents are. So you were talking about in 2016, you were like, I'm jumping in, you went to UCLA. But before that, was there some sense of, knowing what your talents are and like you kind of discovered it and you're like, okay, I need to really start taking this serious? How did that
Mm,
process happen, for you to decide even to apply, I guess, at UCLA?
right. I had always wanted to be an actor from like 5 years old. And of course, wasn't allowed because I'm Asian, and that's just not something that we do. It's not that it's not possible. It's just not in the plan for a lot of Asian American kids growing up. We have three very specific fields that we're allowed to go into according to our parents, which is law, medicine, or engineering. Um, that's just what you do. Um, and so I perhaps I don't know that I ever saw acting as a God-given talent. I did see it as a God-given desire
Sure.
in what I wanted to do with my life. And I was in a campus ministry, and there was a moment where we were talking about, God's will for our lives. Does it have to do with what we do with like our jobs? What is it? And I was putting so much weight on my career being some sort of a tool and an impact that it started to feel like too much pressure, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that day, whoever was speaking told us that the true will of God for us is just to love him and love our neighbors. So it doesn't matter what you're doing in your life, his will can be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's just to love him and love others. And so I freed myself up from like finding a career that will be a testimony, like putting so much weight on the career being tied with God and just letting it happen.
Yeah.
And so we talk about spiritual gifts, and I took a spiritual gifts test, and this is tying in with, what we want to talk about later, but it all kind of comes together. We were talking about, I took a spiritual gifts test, and I scored the highest on evangelism. And I was like, that can't be right.
Let me retake that. Can you grade that one more time?
Yeah, because in my head at the time, evangelism was the people who would just randomly wake up in the morning and be like, I want to go tell people about God. And if they want to have a theological argument, I am ready for it. I was like, nope, that's not me. Like, my relationship with God is for me. And I do not plan to go out on my campus and just be like, hey, have you heard about Jesus? Like, that's just, I'm terrified of that.
Sure.
But then I looked into the gift, and they said that evangelism is storytelling. And I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. And then there's that very well-known saying, and I'm going to butcher it, but it's essentially like, share the word of God always, and use words if you have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Essentially saying that just be. You don't have to tell people.
Be the light.
And so then that all kind of clicked for me. And I was like, oh, okay. I do want to, evangelism. I want to be an actor, which is storytelling. Okay. Maybe this is a little bit of, God's plan for me. And so my senior year of college, I told my mom, I was like, I want to do this. I want to be an actor. I did what you wanted. I got my degree. I did the college thing. And now you really need to let me try this, because I'm going to regret not doing this. And I need you to trust that I know myself well enough to know that if it's going to work out or if I should figure something else out. Thankfully, it has all ended up working out. But that, and I don't know if I've even answered the question.
Oh, you totally have.
But it, but it ties in with how I behave on set, which is God's will for me is to just love him and love others. And that's what I'm trying my best to do on set while storytelling and just letting who I am speak for God.
Absolutely. Amen. Oh, jinx. But I do want to touch really quick. You said that you weren't sure that you had a God-given talent. You knew that you had a God-given desire. And so I just want to touch on that for a second, because I think what's really important, especially for those listening who may feel like they have a desire, not necessarily in acting, but just in general, they might have this God-given desire, but they don't know if they have the talent. It's important to know that you didn't wake up in 2000 and, well, you said when you were 5, but that you just became an actor. I mean, you really worked for it. I've seen your tapes. I've seen the hundreds and hundreds of tapes that you've done that have amounted in X amount of roles, booked roles, but you put in so much work to cultivate that talent, whether it's through UCSD or UCLA or the ABC Showcase, whatever you were doing, whatever opportunity God opened for you in this field, you gave it 110%. And so I think you cultivated the talent. I believe God gave you the talent, number one. Yes. But I think it's also our responsibility, and you did this very well. It's our responsibility to work hard and to cultivate the talent. And so I just wanted to affirm that you're acknowledging that God gave you the desire. You weren't sure if he gave you the talent. Well, you went and found out, and then you worked really hard to make it yours and to be a unique actor and to do the work. And so anyway, I just wanted to just add a little note about that. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Okay. We're going to segue here into kind of this last segment that I really am excited to talk about, because we've been talking about something for a very, very long time. Very long time. I remember, similar to writing the sessions that we did, we sat on the floor reading the script, you and me, just the two of us reading all of the different parts, dying laughing at whatever it was we were doing. But we're making a movie.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Exactly. And so obviously your very, very, very busy schedule permitting, but we have been talking about you playing the lead in our upcoming Christian romantic comedy, The Guy I'm Not Dating, for years. I mean, it's been on IMDb and it's been on some of our promotional materials, but we've never officially announced it. And so I thought, what better time?
Amen.
To announce that we were so excited to have you take on this role that we've been working on this film since before I moved to California. So we've been working on it for a long time. You've been with us through some of the scripting process, through drafts, when it was like a 150-page script and we've got to whittle it down. I mean, you were integral to that process of, okay, is this funny? Olivia, do you think this is funny? And you'd be like, no. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's gone. So anyway, I just, I'm really excited about it. And I wanted to hear your thoughts and you tell us a little bit about how excited you are.
Yeah. Well, I first want to say, are we allowed to share the decision-making process behind you guys deciding maybe I should play
Sure.
Kara?
Why not?
Because I want to say that I think Mama Lejean prophesied into my life. Because remember, you guys were looking for kind of a name actor to play the lead guy. And it just nothing was kind of falling into place the way that
it didn't happen.
It
God didn't make that happen.
It just didn't happen. And then Diane was like, maybe one day Olivia is the name that's attached.
She absolutely did. You absolutely did. I remember that.
That's funny.
And I mean, you guys. Look at where we are.
Look at your name.
Not that I'm a name.
No, but you are. I mean, and you can, throwing terms like that is kind of odd. I know, but it's true. I mean, we totally thought that the lead male was going to be the crowd drawer, if you will. the crowd bringer, but it's gonna be you. And how cool is that? I mean, I'm thrilled. Obviously, if you can't see me if you're listening on a podcast, but if you're looking on YouTube, you can see it. I'm just elated that that's how it turned out. I mean, God has been working on this project since before we had even thought of it, since before the author Trish Perry even wrote it. She was planning, you know, he's been planning on us making this movie with you in it, and he's been ordaining all of these steps and establishing these steps. And so I love that you brought that up because I forgot that, but she really did.
Yeah,
I totally forgot
it into our lives.
She was like, maybe Olivia that will be it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember very vividly, we were in my room at my mom's house, and we were going through the entire script, reading all of the characters, as you said, cracking up. And I love this story. It's the guy I'm not dating. I mean, what girl doesn't relate to that? Anyone can relate to, I need to take a break from dating because it's not working out for me, and I need to figure something out in myself, you know?
And then as soon as you do.
And then as soon as you do, or as soon as you decide I'm no longer going to date anybody, so for some reason, the men come out
in droves.
like it's such a funny, cute, romantic, lovely story, and all tied up in a beautiful little bow with like God is there as well, you know? And I just love that from what I remember of the script, it's not a preachy story.
Right.
It's about God just moving in you and how that affects the people around you as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and you touched on that earlier.
Yeah, which is again what I try to do. Like, I'm never on set being like, "Hey guys, I'm Christian. You know?
Come ask me questions if you have questions."
Yes, like it's just a part of who I am, and it affects the way that I treat people and see people, and hopefully that makes their day better. And I hope that that's also what this movie does. It's like, it's not just for people who believe in God. It's a seed as well.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Amen.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And you're so right. And we touched on this earlier, but it really is like you were just talking about being on set. You have no idea the impact that you're making on people's lives when you're not saying, "Hey, I'm a Christian. Hey, come talk to me." You know what I mean? Just your everyday, day to day is making an impact on these people around you. And I love your heart for them. And I love how much you love people and the crew and the cast. And I'm confident that is radiating from you and that you're making a huge impact. And I'm so proud of you. Okay, so let's wrap up. We're going to play a quick game. It is time for rapid fire questions, snack edition. That's what we're playing.
Okay.
Snack edition. Olivia, you are a self-proclaimed snack specialist. Snackspert. Oh my gosh, why didn't I come up with that? Well, I'm gonna use it. Snackspert. And you claim that you have tried almost every chip flavor.
I love chips. I have the diet of a 13-year-old boy.
It's fantastic. That's what we wanted to hear.
I eat chips and I eat French fries, and that's all I want to eat.
Your Instagram your stories is a lot about you opening fries or chips.
Yes.
It's so true.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do a quick round of 12 questions. I'm going to ask them, and you just have to say the first one that comes to mind, the first snack that comes to mind. I didn't stick with just chips, so just bear my word. All snacks are welcome here. And,
I understand, yeah.
And the only rule is you can't say the same answer twice. Okay? If you can help it, so save your good ones. All right,
Okay.
Here we go. Favorite sweet snack? You're a salty person, I know this, but if you had to pick.
Mini Oreo thins dipped in fudge.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect.
So specific.
They come in a small resealable bag. If you put them in the freezer, they also have a mint flavor, and they're baby Thin Mints.
Oh my gosh.
That's what they are.
Amazing.
Yum.
Favorite salty snack?
Yep. How do I pick one?
I don't know. It is the only rule.
Also, I need some ground rules. What is considered a snack? Is a plate of chili cheese fries a snack?
I would say that any answer you give is going to be brilliant. So I'm gonna not pigeonhole you. The only pigeonhole I'm gonna say is you can't see the same one twice. Anything is fair game. Favorite thing when you're jonesing something salty?
A plate of fries
Plate of fries.
with all of the sauces.
All of the sauces.
Yes.
Ex-
Give me any aioli.
Okay.
Tabasco and hot and ketchup. Yes.
Yes. I remember you every time we shared fries at I can't think of the restaurant that we used to go to after Barney's. We'd always have to get different ketchup options because you had to put hot sauce in yours, and I wasn't gonna do that. Your favorite movie watching snack?
Extra flaming hot Cheetos.
Great.
Not to be confused with flaming hot Cheetos.
Extra.
Extra. They come in a black bag.
Oh, because okay. Extra flaming hot Cheetos. Movie watching snack. That sounds hot. So favorite snack when you're sad? What's your sad snack?
It would also be that, but I will also say Takis.
What's that?
Ooh, there's a different one. Takis are a spicy chip. As you can see, I like spicy things.
Yes.
It's a spicy lime flavored chip. It's a rolled tortilla. It looks like a taquito.
Ooh.
It looks like a mini taquito.
Cute. Okay. Favorite snack when you're happy? Happy snack.
All of the above,
Uh-huh.
plus queso flavored ruffles. Not to be confused with sour cream and cheddar.
Also delicious, though.
Also delicious. But I know that the number one ruffle flavor in Mexico is the queso flavored ruffle. And they came to America maybe a year ago.
You are a
or a year and a half
connoisseur.
ago. I'm not kidding you when I say if there's a new chip on the block, I have eaten it. They are an extremely punched up version of a sour cream and cheddar.
Okay.
It is so salty and delicious, and it smells so bad. It is so pungent, but it's so yummy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here for it. I'm gonna have to get me some. Okay, what is your favorite go-to snack on the set of Kung Fu?
Ooh. A peanut butter jelly sandwich.
I'll take it.
I like it.
Favorite?
They
Go ahead.
have sandwiches for us.
That's
They have
so-
sandwiches for us.
That's so
and
nice.
I always want a PB&J between takes.
And that's your go-to. I love it. Favorite Canadian snack?
Ketchup flavored Lay's.
Ketchup flavored Lay's.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was not a happy
They're
ooh from her.
delicious. If you're a fan of salt and vinegar, they have that vinegar flavor, but with a little touch of tomato.
Love it.
Nice.
Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
The shortbread.
Good answer. Good answer.
The short
I'll take it.
classic, just simple.
Classic. A couple more. Favorite road trip snack?
Mmm.
If you're gonna go into a convenience store and you have to just
Schneider's buffalo flavored pretzel bits.
oh my gosh. I couldn't have picked a better game. Okay. Chips. How hot is too hot?
None.
There is
The
none.
limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist. I love it. Okay, you're stranded on a desert island. What one snack could you eat forever? Forever.
I'm going to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're gonna say the extra flamin' hot Cheetos?
No, I'm going to cheat.
Oh.
And I'm going to say when you go to Costco, there's always a variety sack of individually packed chips.
Yep.
And I would get the
The spicy
one.
Excellent.
Which always contains, and tell me I'm not a connoisseur, it always contains hot Cheetos, limon hot Cheetos, hot Funyuns, spicy nacho Doritos, and spicy Fritos.
I've been pretty proud of you in my life, but I've never been prouder than I am in this moment. And then the last one, which is my personal favorite question, and I'm hoping that something comes from this. List the top 5 snack endorsements you would accept.
Frito-Lay's as a whole company,
Great.
obviously, because that's just all of them.
Yep.
I want to replace Chester the Cheetah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that would
I
be
no longer want him to be on the bags. I would like to be on the bags.
great.
Let's see. So all of Frito-Lay's. You know what? This isn't a snack, but it's a beverage, and I like to drink it with my snacks. I would love a LaCroix deal.
Great.
You know?
Love it.
Oh.
She said, I'm going to start right now.
I would love that. Let's see. I also love pretzels. So Schneider's would be amazing. They're honey mustard pretzel bits. They're buffalo pretzel bits.
All of it.
Trader Joe's as an entire company.
Just the company.
Yeah.
Everything in there, their snacks are incredible as well. Let's see.
Two more. Two more?
Two more.
Two more.
Two more. Two more.
One more.
Did you say 4? Oh, Mom's saying you said 4. One more.
Okay. And then finally, probably, this can be considered a snack in Asian countries. Ramen.
There you go.
Packaged ramen.
You're going to get so many endorsement deals, I believe it, just from this one interview. And so that's what's going to happen from this. I'm so ready. Well, Olive, I love you, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for...
I love you.
I know that you're busy. You're such a busy human being right now, and the fact that you wanted to give us some of your time is just honestly such a huge blessing to
Amen.
us.
We are grateful.
Always.
Always. Aw.
Always.
You and me, Olive. I miss you so much. I just love your heart, and I'm so grateful that you gave us your time. You're so busy right now, and so thank you so much for spending a day off with us, because I know that your days off are very, very important and cherished. So thank you.
I love you.
Yes.
I miss you guys.
Miss you.
Oh, we miss
It's
you
so nice
too.
to see your faces. And always.
Always. We're so proud of you.
Well, so for more information on Project Brickworks and how you can get involved, visit us online at projectbrickworks.org. Follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook page, and if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and turn on notifications. We love you. We love you, Olivia. Be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.